The fight is whether the school board thinks that this is disruptive. And if it's disruptive, it should be banned. And if it's not, then the person that's flying that flag has every right to do so.
The attorney for the local NAACP chapter says the Lee County School District must decide whether Confederate flags on campus are disruptive to your kids and others. 4 in Your Corner's Malcolm Johnson pushing to get that answer from the district and showing you why the district is now referring to a U.S. Supreme Court decision on this very sensitive issue. Malcolm?
That's right, Patrick. The attorney for the NAACP says it's not about whether you like the Confederate flag or not. It's about whether it's a disruption on campus. A group of students who feel it is disruptive want the school district to make it a rule: no more rebel flags on any campus. They met with the NAACP's attorney this afternoon.
I think they came to me to look for guidance. They don't need an attorney to represent them to the school board because it's not their fight.
A fight that started on the first day of school last week, when this student says the principal at North Fort Myers High told her it was okay for her to bring her Confederate flags on campus. That led these 3 students to write this 3-page letter to the Lee School District asking it ban Confederate flags on all its campuses. I sent emails and spoke by phone with a school district spokeswoman. I wanted to know what the district's response is to the letter. The district emailed me a message saying they adhere to something called the Tinker Standard. It refers to a U.S. Supreme Court ruling that protects the First Amendment rights of students with certain guidelines. The district spokeswoman emailed me an explanation that says in part, at this time the school has no evidence that the student expression of the Confederate flag would lead to a substantial disruption or an invasion of the rights of others. The school administration is meeting with students and facilitating conversations among students and district personnel. I asked the NAACP's attorney about the district's response. Do you agree with that?
I agree that they read the same case that I read, and they're copying the word and the verbiage word for word so they can cover their butts in case something happens.
He says the district needs to look beyond the letter of the law and focus on risks to students who may be vulnerable when symbols many consider hateful are allowed. In other words, he says the law may cover them on paper.
What won't cover their butts is if something happens to one of these students, if something happens on one of these campuses because of this, then they'll want to go back and do their due diligence and not just read the case law.
So what's next? The students who want the flag banned, well, they'll also meet with the man in charge of the school district's code of conduct. That code bans anything that becomes a distraction. But ultimately, it looks like it's going to be up to the school principal, who, as you heard, is consulting district officials about this. We'll stay on this and keep you updated. For now, reporting in the studio, Malcolm Johnson, Fox 4 in your corner.